it's Randy. First day back to work. Driving into the office, and I'm getting a new laptop, so that's going to be set up for me. I guess I'm glad to be back to work. I wasn't being as productive as I really wanted to be with all of my time off once I could get around really well. But anyways, what I wanted to talk about is a few things, just odds and ends today. So one thing is this guy that lives by me, like 3 blocks away. I knew him from back in the day, and he used to date a friend of mine who's 10 years younger than me, but he's my age, and he kind of has a sordid past, but I don't really know him well enough to say that, you know, he's a total loser. He is good looking, and I went on like a date with him, and then I invited him to dinner, and that was fun. And then all of a sudden, he avoided me physically, but he texted me like every single day for months. And then he stopped texting, and then he started up again. And he's revealing all these feelings for me, but yet, even though he lives 3 blocks away, he is not asking me on a date or asking if I want to get together. Which, finally, I just came out with it to him on the text a couple days ago and said, you know, yeah, you have all these thoughts and professing all these ideas and, you know, basically future faking. And I said, but yet you won't meet me. And I know this guy's single for sure. I mean, he's not hiding that. He's single. He's never been married, actually. So, anyway, he comes out with it that he's afraid of me. He's afraid of me because I told him, you know, about my ex remarrying someone who's 23 years younger than him, and I also knew that this guy and his ex-girlfriend had broken up maybe like 8 months ago or so, and that she was 20 plus years younger than him as well. And so when he saw my attitude about my ex dating and then marrying these young girls and the actual one that he's married to, and my attitude of disgust with it, so he right away thought that I was going to prejudge him, which I am. And I told him everybody judges everybody. Don't act like you don't judge somebody. I mean, you judged me. He prejudged me that I was judging him. And there's nothing wrong with judging. That's called discernment. You have to, it's deciding about a person based on what they tell you as you're getting to know them. And, you know, I don't know them that well, so whatever. But to me, it is different. Now, it is asinine and idiotic for a 50-year-old man to be, you know, trying to get with a 25-year-old girl, but for somebody who's never been married, for somebody who has been a manager of a bar, which he is no longer, but he was for years. Those are the people he came in contact with. Those are the people he got to know. Those are the barmaids and the clients. That's who he was around. And he wasn't committed to a wife, so naturally, you know, he's in that position of authority, the manager. He has the ability to kick people out, to hire people, fire people, and he is pretty good looking. So, yeah, of course, you know, girls are gonna want to get with him. And I'm not saying they want to be with him permanently, but they do until they, you know, grow out of it and, you know, find somebody their own age that they can actually settle down with, which is what his ex-girlfriend did. But anyways, I'm not judging him on the same basis as I judge my own husband. My husband has a totally different circumstance. He was already married to me. We had been together 16 years. I was his second wife, and he has 4 children, and he wasn't in an atmosphere where he was meeting 25-year-old girls at work every day. He actually sought them out. So that is a totally different situation. Now, I'm not saying that this guy isn't foolish, but I'm not holding him to the same standard as I held my own husband, which is the assumption that he made. And so he just counted himself out. He said he knew that he didn't have a chance. Well, obviously he has a very defeatist attitude, because he did have a chance. He still does, but he's this kind of Scorpio man, I guess, who talks himself out of stuff, which, whatever. I'm not going to try to talk him into anything. This is some kind of internal battle he's dealing with. I have nothing to do with what is going on in his mind. I just thought, we live so close, we got along good, we're attracted, why not get together and see what happens on the 3rd time we see each other. But instead, he preferred to text me like every single day for months. Anyway, that's all about that. But I'm sure other people have had experiences, because guys are like this. They do weird things, and then they don't even tell you what they're doing until 6 months later. Then they confess, and it's like, I still can't help him with this thing that's going on in his own mind. I think he also thinks he's not as smart as I am. Whatever. Intimidation by a woman like me very easily happens all the time. Alright, so that's one thing I wanted to mention. The second thing I wanted to mention is that what really, annoys me is the fact that I got this free trip to another state for 3 nights at a hotel, and free round-trip airfare. It's not actually free. It's just $40 per person. So, and I can take a guest. So me pay $40, the other person pays $40, and we basically have like this mini vacation, and it's actually to a warm place, and it's free. It doesn't even include, having to sit through like a timeshare presentation or anything, because I've done it before. Anyway, I get these free things, and I don't even have a boyfriend to, take along to benefit from these kinds of things. And it really pisses me off that either I have to let them go, bypass them, or I take a girlfriend, which can be just as fun. But, like, for example, this guy, if this guy had continued, to not been a wimp and wanted to, wasn't afraid of me, wanted to see me, it could have been him going on this trip. But, this is how dumb these guys are, and it just annoys me. And the last thing I wanted to mention was a friend of mine who has a history of narcissistic abuse just emailed me a article that her first husband, or it may be her only husband, I think her only husband, but I think it was her first narcissist. I think she's had relationships with 2 narcissists. This guy is in the news today for stalking, and his mugshot is on the internet, and he, I guess, is facing some years in prison. He broke a protection order against some, chick. I shouldn't say chick. She's at least 50 from what I could tell on her picture, but she had a PPO on him, and he violated it 7 times, something like that. So this is someone who, became my friend through the channel here, and she got to see this, karma by her ex-husband getting caught finally for some of the abuse in the form of stalking that he's inflicted on his next victim, and who knows how many other victims he's had in between. So I guess it's bittersweet, because she does have a child with this man, so you never want to see, you know, your child be hurt by something that your husband or your ex-husband or your wife or ex-wife does or gets in trouble for. It can be very embarrassing. And it's embarrassing for us too, as the former spouse of somebody who ends up in jail, who ends up making these super bad choices, never learns from their mistakes, and keeps fucking their life up like my ex does, and like he's doing right now. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. Have a great day.